Hello and welcome. My name is Alan, and we are back with more Know Your Members of Congress for the 119th Congress. Before we jump into the video, I do want to go ahead and remind you all that I have two ways to donate to the channel if you are so inclined. I have a Patreon account, which is a monthly, month-to-month donation system. And I have a Ko-fi account, which can also do much the same, but allows you to make single one-time donations. Both those links will be in the description box as always. Do not donate if you are in financial difficulties or donating would put you in such a situation. I'd rather you take care of what you need to take care of because it's tough enough out there with the morons in charge. If you can donate, afford to donate, and you want to, thank you. I do appreciate it. It's me, myself, and I who do this. I do the recording, the editing, posting. Yeah. And frankly, I don't do commercials because I've chosen not to do them. Even if a commercial company came to me, I'd be like, no, I don't want to sully how I try to view and introduce things. I'm not a sellout. That's not who I ever want to be. And I don't get any money through any of the social media sites as of yet. But with that said, let's go ahead and hop into the video proper here. Today we are looking at Representative Thomas Kean Jr., who is the representative for the 7th District of New Jersey, which is pretty close to the very north of the state because it's pretty close to the city of New York. So yeah, it's pretty, it's got to be almost right on that northern border there. And it seems to be pretty close to the border of Pennsylvania as well. So yeah, it looks like it's the northwestmost portion of the state is where it sits. He is a Republican, and before he took office, he was preceded in office by Tom Malinowski. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at who Tom Kean is as an individual. He is the son of Robert Winthrop Kean, or not son, but grandson of Robert Winthrop Kean, great-grandson of Hamilton Fish Kean, and great-grandnephew of John Kean. So clearly his family's already embedded in politics, doing a lot of work in the political sphere. So first, let's look at his grandfather, Robert Winthrop Kean, who is a representative from New Jersey and was a representative of New Jersey who was born in Elberon, New Jersey on September 28, 1893, and graduated from St. Mark's School in Massachusetts and from Harvard University in 1915, served as a bank clerk in Carteret, New Jersey and New York City, 1915 to 1917. Served with Squadron A in the New York National Guard in the Mexican on the Mexican border in 1916 during the First World War, and served overseas as a first lieutenant with the 15th Field Artillery 2nd Division in 1917 and 1918. He was decorated with a Silver Star Medal, Distinguished Service Cross, engaged in the investment and banking business in Livingston, New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey, and New York City from 1920 to 1969. Was a delegate to the Republican National Convention in 1936, 1960, and 1964. Elected as a Republican to the 76th and 9 following Congresses, so 10 total terms. Was not a candidate for renomination in 58, but was unsuccessful as a Republican candidate for election to the U.S. Senate. Went back to investment and banking interests, serving as chairman of the National Advisory Committee for the White House Conference on Aging, chairman of the Essex County Republican Committee, and resided in Livingston, New Jersey, where he died on September 21st, 1980. Now, the great grandfather, Hamilton Fish Kean, he was a senator from New Jersey who was born in Ursino, which was his ancestral estate near Elizabeth Union Township in New Jersey, on February 27th, 1862. Attended the public schools of Elizabeth, New Jersey, graduated from St. Paul's School in Concord, New Hampshire, engaged in banking and agricultural pursuits, member of the Republican National Committee, 1919 to 1928, unsuccessful candidate for the Republican nomination for the United States Senator in 1924, elected as a Republican to the U.S. Senate in 1928, and served from March 4th, 1929 until January 3rd, 1935. Unsuccessful candidate for re-election in 34. He engaged in banking until his death in New York City, November 27th, 1941. Banking and investment with dabbling in politics. And finally, we have the grand uncle, John Kean. And he was brother to who we just looked at, Hamilton Fish Kean. But he himself was also great-grandson of a John Kean. So that'll give us someone else to really look back at. But look at this John Kean first. Representative and senator from New Jersey, born at Ursino near Elizabeth, New Jersey on December 4th, 1852. Studied in private schools and attended Yale College. Graduated from Columbia Law School in 1875. Admitted to the New Jersey bar in 1877, but did not engage in extensive practice. Engaged in banking and interested in manufacturing. Was elected as a Republican to the 48th Congress, so House of Representatives, unsuccessful candidate for re-election in 1884, elected to the 50th Congress, again the House of Representatives, unsuccessful candidate for re-election in 1888, unsuccessful Republican candidate for governor in 1892, member of the Committee to Revise the Judicial System in New Jersey, elected to the United States Senate in 1899, re-elected in 1905, serving from March 4th, 1899 to March 3rd, 1911. Chairman of the Committee on the Geological Survey, Committee to Audit and Control the Contingent Expenses, and was engaged in banking in Elizabeth, New Jersey, dying in Ursino, New Jersey on November 4th, 1914. And finally, his great grandfather, John Kean. So we're going way, way, way back. He was a delegate from South Carolina who was born in Charleston, South Carolina in 1756. So even before the United States was a nation. Engaged in mercantile pursuits, taken prisoner at the capture of Charleston in 1780 by General Clinton, and was confined aboard a prison ship for several months. Appointed by General Washington as a member of a commission to audit accounts for the Revolutionary Army. Delegate to the Confederation Congress 1785 to 1787, appointed by President Washington as cashier of the Bank of the United States in Philadelphia, and served from its organization until his death in Philadelphia on May the 4th, 1795. So yeah, those are all the ancestors who served in U.S. government or affairs in one form or another. Thomas Kean himself is a representative from New Jersey who was born in Livingston, New Jersey, November 5th, 1968. Graduated from the Pingray School in Martinsville, New Jersey in 1986. Earned an A.B. from Dartmouth College in Hanover, New Hampshire in 1990. Earned an M.A.L.D. from Tufts University in Medford, Massachusetts in 1997. Was a staff member for the United States EPA 1991 to 1993, the Environmental Protection Agency, if you're unaware of what that stands for. Staff member for U.S. Representative Robert Douglas Franks of New Jersey, 1993 to 1995. Instructor at Tufts University in Medford, Massachusetts. Consultant. Member of the New Jersey State General Assembly 2001 to 2003. Member of the New Jersey State Senate 2003 to 2022. Minority Whip of the New Jersey State Senate 2004 to 2007. Minority Leader 2008 to 2022. He had an unsuccessful candidacy for nomination to the 107th Congress in 2000, unsuccessful candidate for election to the U.S. Senate in 2006, before being elected as a Republican to the 118th Congress and the following Congress. So he's in his second term. So yeah, with that, let's go ahead and look at the committees he is on. He's on the Committee on Energy and Commerce, of which he's on the Subcommittee on Commerce, Manufacturing and Trade, the Subcommittee on Communications and Technology, and the Subcommittee on Health. He's on the Committee on Foreign Affairs, of which he's on the Subcommittee on Middle East and North Africa, and the Subcommittee on South and Central Asia. Now, let's go ahead and look at the top 5 individual donors and contributors over this last election cycle. At the top, number 1, we have AIPAC, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee. And they are an American pro-Israel lobbying group that advocates its policies to the legislative and executive branches of the United States, and is one of several pro-Israel lobbying organizations in the United States, being called one of the most influential lobbying groups in the U.S. It proclaims it donates to both parties and is bipartisan. It just means it bribes both parties. As of 2025, it reports more than 5 million members in the U.S., 17 regional offices, and a vast pool of donors. It was founded in 1954 by lobbyists for the Israeli government, partly to counter international criticism of Israel's Kibbutz massacre of Palestinian villagers that year, which goes to show you how long they've been involved in genocide. It became a powerful organization during the 1980s. In 2002, it expressed intent to lobby Congress to authorize use of force in Iraq, and in 2003, the Iraq War was defended at AIPAC events. In 2005, a Pentagon analyst pled guilty to espionage charges of passing U.S. government secrets to senior AIPAC officials in what became known as the AIPAC espionage scandal. AIPAC are vile, despicable, evil, demonic. Any negative connotation you could put on them would more than likely stick. Altogether, they have donated $264,013. And once again, that's AIPAC. Next, at number 2, we have NORPAC, another pro-Israel PAC in the U.S. that supports candidates for Congress who hold pro-Israel positions. And in the 2018 cycle, it spent $1.1 million supporting its preferred candidates of both Democratic and Republican origin. And again, it's one of these, it bribes both fucking parties. Demonic, evil. It don't have any consideration for the fact that Israel is doing genocide. Altogether, they have donated $47,810. And once again, that's NORPAC. Next, at number 3, we have Christie 55 Solutions. And they are a New Jersey-based consulting firm headquartered or formerly headed by former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie. I don't know if he's still a part of it. They provide strategic counsel and consulting services to assist clients in their business strategies and opportunities, and with complex public policy and regulatory challenges at the state, federal, and international levels. They are headquartered in Morristown, New Jersey. Altogether, they have donated $22,935. And once again, that's Christie 55 solutions. Next, at number 4, we have Micro Stamping Corporation, and they operate as a contract manufacturer offering medical assembly, precision metal stamping, insert and injection molding, machining, sharpening, and medical device, serving customers worldwide. They seem to be headquartered in Somerset, New Jersey. They also deal with household goods. So yeah, altogether, they have donated $21,205. And once again, that's Micro Stamping Corporation. Finally, in 5th, we have Bank of America, an American multinational bank and financial services holding company headquartered at the Bank of America Center in Charlotte, North Carolina, with investment banking and auxiliary headquarters in Manhattan, New York City. It was founded by the merger of Nations Bank and the Bank of America in 1998 and is the second largest banking institution in the United States and the second largest bank in the world by market capitalization, both after J.P. Morgan Chase. It is one of the big 4 banking institutions of the U.S. and one of the 8 systemically important financial institutions in the U.S. and serves about 10% of all American bank deposits, in direct competition with J.P. Morgan Chase, Citigroup, and Wells Fargo. Its primary financial services revolve around commercial banking, wealth management, and investment banking. Through mergers, the oldest branch of the Bank of America franchise dates back to 1784 when Massachusetts Bank was chartered, becoming the first federally chartered joint stock-owned bank in the U.S. Another branch of its history goes back to the American-based Bank of Italy, founded by Amadeo Pietro Giannini in 1904, which provided various banking services to Italian immigrants who faced service discrimination at the time. In the 1950s, the passage of the landmark federal banking legislation facilitated rapid growth, quickly establishing prominent shares of the present bank's predecessors, and after suffering significant losses during the 1998 Russian financial crisis, Bank of America, which it was then known, was acquired by the Charlotte-based Nations Bank for $62 billion. Following what was then the largest bank acquisition in history, the Bank of America Corporation was founded. With a series of mergers and acquisitions, it built upon the commercial banking business by establishing Merrill Lynch for wealth management and Bank of America Merrill Lynch for investment banking in 2008 and 2009 respectively, and since renamed Bank of America Securities. Both Bank of America and Merrill Lynch Wealth Management retain large market shares in their respective offerings. Its wealth management unit manages $1.08 trillion in assets under management as the second largest wealth manager in the world after UBS. And in commercial banking, it has operations but does not necessarily maintain retail branches in all 50 states of the U.S., Washington, D.C., and over 40 other countries. Its commercial banking footprint encapsulates 46 million consumer and small business relationships at 4,600 banking centers and 16,000 ATMs. Altogether, it has donated $19,993. And once again, that's Bank of America. Now, let's go ahead and look at his top 5 industry donors and contributors over the last election cycle. At the top, number 1, we have Retired, who altogether have donated $744,234. Next at number 2 is Pro-Israel Groups, who altogether have donated $533,418. Next at number 3 is Republican Leadership PACs, who altogether have donated $370,300. Next at number 4 is Republican Conservative Groups, who altogether have donated $338,928. And in 5th, we have private equity and investment firms, who altogether have donated $279,479. Now let's go ahead and look at all his donors at a glance, individually. APAC, boo suck. NORPAC, boo suck. Christie 55 Solutions, boo suck. Micro Stamping Corporation, fine. I mean, not the worst thing in the world. It's just decent work, depending on what it's used for. Bank of America, boo suck. So overall, not a good start. Industry-wise, Retired, great, absolutely wonderful. Pro-Israel Groups, boo suck. Republican Leadership PACs, boo suck. Republican Conservative Groups, boo suck. Private equity and investment firms, boo suck. Yeah, your donors suck ass balls. You're at the very fucking bottom. Very fucking bottom. But this has been a look at Representative Thomas Kean Jr., who is the representative for the 7th District of New Jersey. As always, educate thyself, think, read, study, learn. Someone tells you something you have trouble believing, ask them to cite their sources, and it can't be 10 full hat wearing sources or a bunch of anecdotes thrown together to try to make a source. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, later.